Good morning, viewers. Welcome to the Youth Galore show. I'm your host, Wambui Jonah, and we are delighted to have a guest with us. He's going to introduce himself. Welcome so much.
Good morning, everybody. Prophet Habilo Lembo is my name, and we really thank God. Thank you very much for having me on your show.
You're welcome.
And the viewers, I hope we will minister to you and you'll be blessed. Thank you.
Our topic today is basically on leadership. So, Prophet Habil, for starters, would you please explain to our viewers what leadership basically is?
Many people have different definitions of leadership. And someone would say, I would really say that in very simple terms, leadership is basically the ability to be in front of the pack, to lead others to do things that maybe they can't do or they want direction. Okay, basically leadership is the ability to give people direction. Yes.
Okay. As a leader, how do you demonstrate the leadership skill?
I would want to be very categorical. There are different types of how you can demonstrate leadership skills. And one thing I want everybody to understand, them that are watching us from home, is that leadership, demonstrating your leadership skills, many people are born leaders. And by the way, the most effective leaders are the ones that are born. That's why you discover, when you grow in life, even maybe in church, politics and whatever, when you grow, you discover somebody that was there when you were growing up. They will say, this one used to behave like this. Or you have a child at home, and this child is very young, but you can see, as much as the child is young, there is how the child is trying to show leadership. So how do you demonstrate the leadership skills? Is by how you carry yourself. Yes.
And how can you monitor the performance maybe of the people that you're leading as a leader?
Okay, I'll still go back to your first question. What was the other question? Before you ask this one, what was the other question?
What leadership is? How you demonstrate the leadership skills?
How do you demonstrate leadership skills? I will answer the latter question with that one still. How do you demonstrate the leadership skills? Number one, as a leader, as a very effective leader, you should not be there to delegate. No. As a good leader, you should be there to show by example. How do you show by example? Take, for example, you want this place to be clean. And you have people that can clean the place. But you have to be there to do it with them. So that tomorrow they will see what you did yesterday. And they will carry on with what you taught them. Many leaders fail because they think being a leader is being a boss. But I want everybody to understand that being a leader is not being a boss. Let's come to the Bible. The disciples of Jesus come and tell Jesus, how are you leaving us? And who are you leaving us? In whose hands are we going to be safe? In whose hands are we going to be safe? Jesus. And Jesus looks at them and he says, in the hands of the man that are going to be safe is the one that is going to be a servant of all. So leadership begins with servanthood. So Jesus tells them, the one that will serve all, the one that will be down there to serve, that is going to be the leader. So basically, you don't really aspire to be a leader, but it is people. The effective leadership is where people come and they tell you, tunataka utuongoze, we want you to be our leader, because they have seen you can lead them. You see, like, for example, there's a meeting that is sitting somewhere, you've gathered like 20 people in a room, there's a project people want to do, maybe a wedding, or there's a funeral committee or whatever, and then they say, now we want somebody to be the chairman. You don't rise up here and say, I'll be the chairman. No. But it is the people that will look and say, so and so can be a good chairman. So and so. And then the chairman can also not be the treasurer. They say, we need the treasurer. So also can be the treasurer, It is people that point out. So you know you are a leader, but it is more effective when people appoint you, or when people come and say, we want you to lead us. So how do you show, how do you portray, how do you teach people how to be a leader? It is by demonstrating to them what they are supposed to do. I'm a pastor, I run a church, and I don't believe in this leadership of a man of God sitting in the office and just giving orders. Leadership is not about giving orders. If you find something, if this cup is supposed to be here and it is here, as a leader, when you find it here, don't call someone to come and pick it. Pick it yourself and put it where it's supposed to be, and then tomorrow you can tell the other people, this cup is not supposed to be here. Yes.
So by monitoring their performance, you're also helping them.
You're also helping them. You help them become, help them become. Because every company, every organization, they have different values. And these values are instilled. This is JTV, right? And you see, how JTV runs is not how other stations run. So there are values of this station. And the values are always learned from the leader of the organization. Take for example, if you are a leader and you come to work after 10, your teammates will come at 11, or they will be coming shortly before 10, because they know their leader comes at 10. But if you are a leader and you come to the office at 5, you are motivating your teammates to come to work early. By the grace of God, I've interacted with a few of the top government officials. Do you know those people? Most of them, most of the appointments that I've gotten with maybe cabinet secretaries, people that are in top management positions, they give me appointments at 5 in the morning or at 6 o'clock. They tell me, before I begin my day, you have to be in my office at 6 o'clock. This is a very prominent person that is telling you 6 o'clock. What time do they go to the office? So we lead not by words, not by dictating, but we lead by example.
The question I had about motivating a team is also by leading by example.
You have to lead by example. You have to show them, and a good leader, you need to have a good heart. Let me tell you one thing. Many companies or many people that have employed people that are bosses, mimi ndio kusema huku. Those companies, they have minimal performance. But you see, if you lead, how do you motivate them? 1, by example. 2, as a leader, when you're there, I'll tell you, I have a church in Nairobi and also in Meru, and many people that know me, they will tell you, most of my people that I work with, like there's a time we want to give flyers to advertise a program. I don't have a problem. I will go and give flyers with them. Not that they will not be given if I don't give them, but they will be given. But you see, there's that person there, there's that young man there. I want to motivate them that no matter how high you go, you're still a servant of the people. No matter what you get in life, you're still there to motivate other people that are still down here. How will they learn from you as a leader and you're not reachable? How do you motivate people? You have to be reachable. You have to be very reachable, especially to your team. You have to be very reachable. You need also to be able to answer questions without attitude. Some questions are very offensive. Your teammates, your team members, they'll ask you some very funny questions. But you also need to be able to know that they are learning from you. Yes. So you just have to motivate them, show them that it is doable, no matter how hard it is. You cannot be telling people we are meeting so place, you enter your car and then they don't even have transport. Uber for them. You're motivating them. At times, go somewhere as a leader, buy your team lunch. Buy them lunch, sit down with them and talk nothing and just buy them, give them incentives. You're motivating them. Identify the best performer in the team. And then after identifying them, number 1, acknowledge them. Tell the other, have awards. When you have awards, you will be able to do what? You'll be able to get the maximum output from them. There's one girl that I know that was working somewhere, and she got another job somewhere. You know, so many people say we don't work for companies, we work for money. You know, which is a very bad whatever
phrase to use.
Yeah, but you see, she got another job in a certain company, and the job was paying her double her salary. She came to me. I told her, no, what you need to do is go to your employer, tell your employer this is what you got. You're a team leader where you come from, so don't just leave, because you'll be also setting bad example to your juniors. And you need to understand, them that are watching us, every leader, you owe it to the next generation. How you behave today determines how the next generation is going to behave. To digress a bit, we are in the political year, and we can see everything that is being said by our leaders. Are you getting me? And I'm very worried, because we are setting very bad example to the next generation, because there's a lot of dishonesty, a lot of trustworthy, there's a lot of things that are happening. So one thing you need to understand, it's not about you as a leader, it's about the next generation that is coming after you. It's what they'll carry through is what you taught them. You see the insults that are there. It's because of, I don't even blame them. I blame the people that came, that they took from. So I told this lady, it's not about you. So you go to employer, tell your employer, look here, thank you very much for the time that you gave me to serve and to be a team leader in this place, but I got another job. So the employer was like, which job is this? So gave them the letter, the salary was twice. He said, no, because you came, give us some time, let's go and consult. Do you know they came back with 3 times of what the lady was given?
Wow.
And they said, please don't leave us, you're a great team leader, let us do what? Let us ongeza you the money. So the lady was given more money, and she's still there from that time.
Wow.
So motivation, that's how you motivate your people. Don't, as a leader, you should not just show them that this must be done at all costs. No, it's not at all costs. If they don't do what you expect them to do, you show them how to do it. Yes.
So someone should reduce the bossy part and also at least be friendly.
Be very friendly. You know, leadership is about being a servant.
The respect also comes with humble.
Yes, respect comes with a lot of humbleness, and humility is key in leadership. Humility is key, because as a leader, you don't know everything. Yeah, as a leader, you don't know everything. And by the way, you'll find some people that you're leading, they know more than yourself. So also, as a leader, you need to be able to listen to the subordinate, the person that you're leading. Listen to them. You will collect 1 or 2 things that will help you in your leadership.
So what are the values that a good leader should have? Key values.
One of the key values that a good leader should have is a listening ear. You need to be ready to listen. Because if you don't listen, you will not be able to lead. And by the way, for information, you don't lead animals, you lead people. And people that have emotions. And people that also have divergent views. So one of the things that you must have as a good leader is the listening ear. You need to listen to people. Listen to them, even if they are saying nonsense. Just listen to them. It's in the nonsense that you'll find wisdom. So that's one of the values. There are too many values. That's one of the values. Number 1, you need to have a listening ear. Number 2, you need to have an understanding heart. You need to understand. You know you can listen and refuse to understand. Take, for example, in your team, you have people and they have issues. You can listen to their issues and refuse to understand. So the listening did not help you. Or you listened and you are not humble enough to implement what they said. You don't take, you might not take whatever they said like wholesale and implement it, but at least listen. In fact, in any organization, the people that know what a company or what an organization needs to grow is not the leader. It is the people that are on the ground. Those are the people that deal with. Take, for example, you have this cup that you're selling. And this cup, you as the manufacturer, you will not go to the streets. You have the sales reps. So you will always depend on the feedback from the sales reps to come and tell you, they are saying the cup is good, but the price is high. Or Wanasema the cup is good, but with the need, if you can add another handle here, you know,
it would look much
it
better.
will look much better. So as a leader, you need to be able to listen to them. That's why a president has people that we call, who is the CEO of a country is a president. I get it. But do you know it's not the president that runs the country? The president doesn't run the country. There are people that are called advisors, who we did not vote them in. They were never voted in. They are what we call presidential advisors. We did not vote them in, but they are leading this country. Because even during COVID, when it came, you could hear the president say, after consulting with so-and-so group, we've decided curfew begins now. We did not vote these guys that are telling you, you know, we didn't vote them in.
The people you consult.
The people you consult. Why are you telling us all this? Why did you consult them? We didn't give them our votes. Even in the economy. That's why the president, in every ministry, there is what we call advisors. They advise the minister and the minister. In fact, one of the constitution, one of the functions of the cabinet secretary is to advise the president. Are you getting me? You have to advise the president. So we did not vote Mutahi Kagwe. In fact, maybe he ran for office and his people never voted him in. But he was appointed by the president as the minister for health. And now he's the one that is advising the president on health matters. You see, if they misadvise the president, that's it. There's what we call Security Council. The president is advised about security of the country every other day. By who? The CS. So, one of the things that the president needs to have, or the leader needs to have, is a listening ear, because you have advisors. You have people that will come and tell you, hey, things are not going well here. Let's do this. Let's do that. Because the president is not with the people. Now, the CS here is with the people, but not with all the people. He also needs advisors down here. So there are people that are on the ground, uko chini kabisa, ambao, in fact, information is disseminated from the bottom, and it goes up mpaka inafikia rais. Na ndio maana, if there's insecurity in one village in Machakos, do you know the president will know about it by tomorrow morning? You don't know he has known it, lakini amejua kuna kitu kitendeka hapo. Do you know why? Because information came up and it reached them. So he wants to know what was done there. So you need to be having a listening ear, you need to be understanding, and you also need to be humble enough to be talked to. Those are values of a good leader. You have to, you need to be there for your people. Availability is also a value. Availability. Where are you? Are you available for the people? You know, there are leaders that are MIA. You know, they are those leaders, you know. They are just leaders, but they are not there. You know, yani kama huko hakunanga mkiongozi, you know. And you see, when the leader is missing, even values of a company, values of an institution, values of a group of people will also not be there. Because everybody, you know, we have a body, right? And you see, what is the leader of your body? It's your head. It's your head. That's what is the leader of your body. You know, because I'll tell you, on the head, the eyes are there for direction. The nose is there to supply the entire.
If there is fish somewhere, I'll just
smell it. You see, the ears are there. Are you getting me? The mouth is there. So, from the head is the leadership. And I tell people, if you want to see how leaders should coordinate with the rest of the body, look at the head. Because the head carries basically everything. The head carries brain. And by the way, God gave people head for direction. A leader is there for direction. God gave you brain for you to give him rest. You see? So, you will be seated here. You'll feel pain on on your leg. It is not the leg that has felt pain. The information has been sent to the leader. The CPU. That is the head. Utasikia kujikuna, reflex action. And then you scratch on your back. Not because the back, no. The signal has already been sent. The mouth will say, I'm feeling thirsty. But the real sense is not the mouth feeling thirsty. It is the body that is feeling thirsty. So it's the mouth must say. So the head itself, a leader, one, should be able to see, should be able to offer, and when you see, you need to offer direction, vision, right? You need to be able to supply the rest of the team with adequate needs, the mouth, the nose, which is very important for oxygen and every other thing. You need to be able to communicate. A good leader is a good communicator. Si ati team mekosea hapa hivi na wewe uko na attitude kwa ofisi. You need to be able to communicate. In fact, a good leader, another value is you should be attitudeless. You should not have attitude. You should be able to if no matter what has gone wrong, call your team, talk to them. You know, let not a team member begin to hear what you said about them from the other team member. That is now you have reduced yourself as a leader and you're a gossiper.
Does this also vary in church and also maybe, as you've said, a man being the head of a family, as he leads the family, does this also vary? Are there things he should also have?
You know, leadership cuts across the board. Leadership cuts across the board. And I'll tell you, I've been married by the grace of God now for, I don't even know, is it 16 or 17? I don't know. You know, I've been enjoying it until I lost count.
In short, Prophet has said marriage is sweet.
No, marriage is very sweet. You let nobody lie to you. Marriage is, but you see, marriage is like fire. It can cook your food, also burn your house. You know, depending on how you use it. You know, there are people that are looking at me and watching us today. They are like, "That is sweet." No, marriage is very good, because even the people that are telling you marriage is bad, in the evening they still go back home. You know, so it's how you work it out. I've been married for quite a number of years now. That's around 16, 17 years. And I'll tell you, I'm a leader of my home. Of course, God is, but I'm there. You'll discover my wife will come and ask you questions that you feel they should not be asked. Lakini, you discover she wants direction from the leader. So, as a leader, you need to take all the questions. That's why I said you should be attitudeless. Because somebody will say, your wife will ask you, she has already put on the clothes, and she'll tell you, do I look smart? For heaven's sake. You've already put them on, you ironed them. Why are you asking me if you look smart? But you see, as a leader, she wants your compliment. She really wants your compliment. She wants you to have input in her dress code, you know. She did ask you to choose for her, but she wants to ask you, how do I look? Some of us, we just put on what we put on and we move, you know, because you know you're okay, you know. So it cuts across board. You'll have children. These children, they want leadership. That's why your children will ask you many questions, and you have to be there to answer them. So if you're a leader with attitude, with yani unachomanga fuse haraka, you'll have a problem. You know, because somebody will come with a very useless question, but that question is not useless per se. It's very helpful to them. Because if you don't answer that question, what will happen is they will go and do a wrong thing. They'll accuse you of not telling them what they should have done. And they'll tell you, we asked you, you kept quiet. So it cuts across board, even in the church. Church is the most amazing place to be. Very amazing. Because in church you'll find saints and you find the devils in the same congregation. They are there. So you'll find people that are there for your good and others that are there for your downfall in the church. And I normally tell people, as a good leader, you need to understand this thing cuts. Do you know people in church will just sit there? And church is also very vulnerable. And I think we'll have time and talk about church and leadership in maybe later. But you see, many people have lost their head because their leader in church is helpless. If you know what I mean. Do you know church is the place whereby I'll give you a glass of water. I'll give everybody in church a glass. In fact, I can announce and say, everybody next week on Sunday, come with water. Or I'll give everybody water in a bottle. And I'll tell everybody, open that bottle of water. Drink it. If that water is poisonous, everybody in that congregation, they are dead because they don't question. But I normally tell leaders, be ready to be questioned. Why do you do this? But you see, in the leadership in church, and this is where many pastors will get away with it. We normally say that leadership in church is autocratic, which is true. It's autocratic, but still also, we also need to give people time and opportunity to ask us questions. Many pastors, they do the wrong things and they don't want to be asked any question. Yes. I'll call you as a guest speaker, you come to my church and you begin to talk to my people or the church. You tell them things that I don't believe in. As a leader, you should be able to rise up and take the microphone on the spot. Don't wait for that nonsense to continue. Sorry for my language. You know, you don't wait for that thing to continue. Because anytime you're seated there as a leader, number one, before this person came, in fact, this guest speaker is there courtesy of your leadership, courtesy of you, right? It's like you can't come to my house, right, and begin to give instructions that I don't believe in my family, and I say, you just do what the guest is saying. The guest will go away. We'll correct it when the guest has gone. A leader should be someone that you're willing to bite the bullet. You can't come. Listen, excuse me. When you come to my house and I'm watching football, please put away your appetite of watching my Magic. This is my house, and I lead here. Are you getting me? So the same thing in the church. Many people have had pastors say, so and so came, taught wrong doctrine. Where were you when they were teaching? It means you failed as a leader, as a church leader. You have failed. One time one man came and started teaching some things that I didn't believe in my church. There's always extra microphones in my church. So if I don't agree with what you're saying, I'll just pick it up and say, praise the Lord. Thank you very much, man of God. Everybody clap for the man of God. Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll see you again. You may take your seat and I'll continue the service. Please, ushers protocol leading to the office. That is leadership. Because you will not sit there watching your team members drinking poison, telling them I'll give you anti-poison later. Some of them, before you give them the anti-poison, they will be dead. So instead, as a good leader, you should be able to rise up to the occasion and sort out this nonsense. Yes.
Before we take our break, I would like to know how should a leader collaborate with others and maybe accept new ideas in an institution or also in a church or anywhere else. How do you collaborate?
You see, I told you before, nobody has a monopoly of ideas. We learn everything. We learn new things every day. I get it. We learn new things every day. And one thing you need to understand, a leader, for you to collaborate and take people's ideas, you have to be humble enough, knowing that all of us are in this institution to learn. Are you getting me? Yes, I might have come from one. Okay, I'll give you an example. The late Colimo took over from Michael Josephs in Safaricom, right? But do you know, when Colimo came, he improved on what Michael had done, and he also learned many other things that he brought on board, right? And after doing those things, when he died, Safaricom fraternity looked around and they said, who can steer this company on the higher heights? Do you know they still went back and took Joseph? They said, you come, you're the right person, because the late built from where you left, and also brought in new ideas. The new ideas that were brought on board, Joseph now came also and built more. And that's why now we have another CEO. So there is no leader that is a final authority to knowledge. No. If you sit down with the president today, he will tell you many things that I've done. There were things that, most of them, new ideas came as we were moving forward. Many people came. We met new people on the road that told us, no, we cannot do this, we can do this. There are many things we had planned to do, but we could not do them because the time was not ripe. You know, so as a leader, you have to be ready to be advised. Are you getting me? And you need to know every advice that matters. Everybody, you know, there are some advice that are nonsense, but not absolute nonsense. Some of them will matter as you move by. You see, like I'll tell you, the former President Kibaki, there's a place where he left this country. As President who retires, there's a place where he's also going to leave the country. Not where he found it, but it's on a higher pedestal. Right? So, as a leader, you need to be ready to listen to the people. Listen to the people that you lead. Listen to the people that are in your team. Because you are not the one that is making the work, you're doing the work. Uhuru Kenyatta today, there's a lot of infrastructure that has been going on in this country. He's not building the roads himself. He has a minister for transport and roads and infrastructure that is doing the job. But also the minister is not doing the job. The minister is also sitting in the office. But there are people who know watu wa mukono. When the minister goes to the ground, they tell him, look here, there's also the contractor. The contractor is also not on the site. There are people so this one will tell this one, and this one now will say, okay, fine, we need to do this year. Okay, fine, let's take it up. It goes and goes and goes until it reaches the head of state. So as a good and effective leader, you have to be ready to learn from your team.
I hope you are learning something this great morning. Let us take a break and then I'll see you after the break.
Je, unatafuta ploti ya kununua? Tembea maeneo ya Ole Kasasi, mtaa wa Rongai, mita 500 kutoka barabara kuu ya Rongai, ujichukulie ploti yako. Mtaa huu umeendelea zaidi, ukiwemo na shule, hospitali za kufaa, maji na hata huduma za serikali. Kwa maelezo zaidi, piga simu kwa nambari 0726479145 ama 0736117360. Pia unaweza kutuma barua pepe kwenye axopro2012@gmail.com.
Juda Prayer Center Kisajo, mahali ya kutafuta Mungu na kuomba usiku na mchana na kupatia Mungu mizigo zako. Tunapatikana barabara ya Namanga. Kama unatoka Nairobi, kuja pita Kitengela. Kabla hujafika Kisajo town, angalia mkono yako ya kushoto, wana barabara nyeupe ya Maram. Fuata hiyo barabara. Na kama unatoka Namanga, pita Bisil, pita Kajiado, pita Isinya, pita town ya Kisajo. Hapo angalia mkono yako ya kulia, yuko barabara ya Maram. Fuata barabara nyeupe, fuata mpaka unaona milango imeandikwa Prayer Center Kisajo. Ingia hapo, tafuta Mungu na utabarikiwa.